Now, if you're thinking of retiring anytime soon, then I've got some bad news for you. And the news is this, that you will perhaps never be able to retire off your job. Now, look at China, for example. It is now pushing old people to work longer. China's current retirement age for men is 60 years, 55 for white-collared women, and 50 for women who work in factories. Now, soon these numbers will change. How are we so sure? Now, Global Times earlier, the Chinese mouthpiece declared that China is raising its retirement age. China has found a way to sugarcoat this news. It says that the country is actually eyeing a quote-unquote progressive, flexible and differentiated path to raising the retirement age. Basically, if you're thinking of retiring, forget about it. The new retirement age has not been disclosed yet, but the Chinese officials say that those nearing retirement will have to push their plan for retiring by several months. And those who are young now will have to work at least a few additional years before they touch 60 or 55, before they even become eligible for pension. Now, vague phrases like several months and additional years leave enough scope for extension. But it is not like China is spoiled for choice. Now, all of its cosmetic hacks have not produced any reversal for an aging population. It comes with an added healthcare expense, it comes with increased pension costs, and an aging population means a shrinking economic base and an end to the dragon's dream of global domination. Because without manpower, without a workforce, how will China win the economic war? But China isn't alone in this boat. The aging population is a global problem. Japan is running from pillar to post for a solution, because nearly 30% of its population, believe it or not, 30% of the Japanese population is now above the age of 65. And just last week, a senior Japanese official had said that the country's population is practically on the verge of disappearing. In Italy, there is a political debate about pensions because nearly 25% of its people are 65 years or older. In France, Emmanuel Macron has become very, very unpopular. He's risking his re-election for a push for a delayed retirement age, because there too, the story is the same. Worldwide countries are staring at the possibility of pensioners outnumbering the working hands, of the elderly outnumbering the workforce, and it has not happened yet, but it won't be too long before it happens. So what's the solution? One way is to do away with pensions. Secondly, get people to retire late. The first isn't an option in most European nations. It's not even open for discussion. It's almost like mentioning gun rights in America. So we're left with option number two, get people to work longer and retire later so that they don't get paid pension. They work for their time. This is what countries that are aging are hoping to do. But given the protests in France, we should be safe in assuming that there is unlikely to be consensus on, in fact, increasing the working age before retirement to get pension. But also, aging population is just a part of the problem. The crisis is being coupled with a falling birth rate, because that is the key problem, and it's a double whammy. Now, not too long ago, China had declared for the very first time in over 70 years that its population had declined. South Korea is battling a declining population as well. So is Japan and a host of other countries. What's happening in these countries is, while the older population is getting older and aging, in comparison, there are far fewer children being born to take up jobs and join the workforce. Now, such is the crisis in China that only about 3.5 people of working age are available to support each retiree. Back in 2000, just about 23 years ago, it was 6.5 for every retiree. And by 2030, the number is, of course, expected to fall below 2.3. Now, this is a demographic disaster, and this problem will spill beyond the borders of China. So if you are a government employee or an employee entitled to a pension, and if you're planning to retire, then you may just want to hold on to your horses, because retirement is not going to come anytime soon. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.